Chef Kelvin with another one. Chef Kelvin with another one. Chef Kelvin with another one. Chef Kelvin.
Welcome back to another episode of Kelvin's Kitchen. It's been a while. I'm happy you're back. Today we're doing one of my favorite dishes. It's a dessert. It's fall. We're going to talk about all the apples. You can do so many different desserts with apples. Apple crumble, apple pie, apple flambe. Today is all about the apple tart tatin. It's originated in France. I literally, in every single restaurant when I was in France, I lived there for about 3.5-4 months a couple years ago. And two things I was infatuated with was the croque madame and the apple tart. It's just incredible, the difference in flavors, the textures with the apple and the puff pastry, and whether you serve it with whipped cream, creme fraiche, or ice cream. It's just a phenomenal dish. So enough talking, let's get cooking. Let's have some fun. All right, let's start our recipe. I got 10 beautiful Granny Smith apples. You can use Golden Delicious or anything that's good for baking. Make sure you know which apple you're using. I have a lemon or a lime. This is a lime. I'm doing a bowl of water. So when we peel, we need some acidulated water, which just means water with some acid. And what that's gonna do is prevent the apples from browning. So what I like to do with the apples, take one at a time, cut the top, cut the bottom, we discard, and then we peel. Really simple to peel from top to bottom. Makes it extra easier since we cut the top and the bottom off. So once we're done with that, we're gonna cut down the middle. If you have a melon baller, you can just scoop that out. I don't, so I'm gonna cut that in half. I'm gonna cut the seed out, and there we go. So each half gets cut in half. You want the apple fairly large. You can leave the apple like this. I'm gonna cut a couple pieces small, so you'll see what they're important, but I'm gonna leave my apple in quarter. So our next step, we're gonna add the butter and the sugar, making sure that they mix well together. I have this on a medium-high heat, and now we're just gonna let it caramelize. I took one vanilla bean, split that in half, added the vanilla bean in for some flavor, and now we can throw in our apples and cook for 2 to 3 minutes. All right, it's time to assemble our apples. I just have a pair of tweezers. If you have tongs, you can use tongs. If you want to use your hand, you can use your hands. Just make sure you're wearing gloves because this is going to be hot. Most important thing is, as you can see, I'm going top side down because that's going to be our presentation. So we're going to make sure that we pack them as close as possible. But this is going to be a beauty. Take your time with assembling, making sure that it's perfect. You work this hard on this dessert, you want to make sure it's presented properly. So I just stack them all up, and then of course add the caramel. All right, our apples are ready, and we're grabbing our next step, which is puff pastry. I did puff pastry in culinary school. It was such a hard process. I'm sure if you're a baker, you're used to it, but it's something that I picked up in Whole Foods, in the freezer section, or in your grocery store, supermarket. Check your market for puff pastry. We have 2 different individuals in here. We're only gonna need one. So best thing about it is you're gonna let it defrost for about 10 minutes on your counter. gotta make sure you don't want to rip it, right? So the most important thing is it comes wrapped. Look at that. Look at that. If you can't roll it, it's still frozen. I'm gonna leave this one out for a little bit longer. All right, so you get this beautiful cylinder. I was a little impatient, so I ripped it a little bit, but it's okay. Just make sure that you put it back together. So we're just gonna dock it, which means taking the point of your knife and making a couple holes so the pastry has time to breathe. So we're gonna do that all the way around. It's actually therapeutic. All right, lift that up. We're gonna put that right on our pastry, right above. So now the most important thing is, you see this? We have a lot of excess. We don't want all that, right? So we're gonna cut it off. All that excess off, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna push in to our dough. I'll grab a smaller knife for this, make it easier. Just grabbing a paring knife, so there we go. All right, just go right along. See that? Right along. All right, so again, I'm pushing in. This is gonna be our base and our bottom. So the reason we're pushing it in is because we want to have a foundation when we flip this apple tart over. So it looks good. A couple more holes. Man, I'm so excited. All right, oven is ready, 425 degrees. I'm gonna do 30 to 40 minutes. Let's start off with 30 minutes and we'll see you soon. Okay, after 30 minutes, it is golden brown and delicious. Now, we gotta let it set. Gotta let it set. As you can see, it's perfect. It's crispy. And it's not sticking, see? All right, let's just let that sit for 10 minutes before we try to flip. We let it rest, which was the most patient thing ever. It smells incredible. It's crispy. I'm gonna take a plastic spatula and just go right around the edges as that car passes by. Just wanna make sure that it's not sticking to the pan and we look good. All right, most importantly, get your platter or whatever you're gonna serve it on, because that's what we gotta flip over, right? All right, 1, 2, and 3. Wow. That was scary. All right, let's push that to the side. And now we hope for the best. We only have one chance at doing this, so. Just beautiful. I'm so proud of this. Look at that. I'm gonna slide it off to cut, but just look at that. The crispy, crunchy, it smells incredible. And this is exactly how they did it in France. The color is nice. We could have done the caramel a little bit more darker, and you can definitely do that. And that was just a difference in the stage of when we added the apples. But let's cut into this bad boy and see what the hype is all about. Look at this beautiful apple tart tatin. Got a little bit of vanilla bean in there. We'll just remove that, but this looks beautiful. We are almost ready to serve. What do I need? A spoon. We'll make a quenelle out of this. So we have the vanilla bean. We could just remove that. It smells incredible. So we're gonna cut a perfect piece. I'm gonna cut down the middle first. Incredible. And just like that. And look at that. You can see the sparkles, the color of the vanilla bean. Oof. Put that right in the center. So we cut our piece. Look at the layers of that. That just looks incredible. You can even see the specks of the vanilla bean. Let's get this to the side. And you gotta serve it with fresh whipped cream or ice cream. That's the only way. So I have one of my favorite ice creams, and I'm gonna teach you how to do a quick quenelle, which is basically, we're gonna take the shape of the spoon. So you let your ice cream sit out for a little bit. With the hot spoon, you see I'm gonna create the shape. Of the spoon when we're taking out the ice cream. So, back in. All right, so we're just making sure the hot spoon is creating that like football shape is what we're gonna do. So, by running the hot spoon in the ice cream, so the hot water is gonna create it easy for us to pull out, just like that. So, just get that, one more. I need one more scoop. So one more time around with the hot water. We're gonna pour that right on top of that. And then, there's the best part. It's because the apple tart is hot. I'm a mess right now because I'm so excited. But look at that. And that's my favorite part, when the ice cream starts to melt. Let's enjoy this. Mission accomplished, job well done. It's just time to eat. All right. So this is just something that reminds me of when I was in France studying. So, and what I love is the textures and flavors. What makes it a fork spoon dessert, a fork dessert, a spoon dessert? Wow. It's so incredible. What I love is that puff pastry. It gives you a nice chew to the dessert. Wow, this is really good. I'm so proud. There's a lot of different recipes out there. You can do this with pears. Try golden delicious apples, but I'm gonna keep enjoying this. I hope you had fun. I'm glad you keep coming back, learning more dishes with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kelvin's Kitchen, and I'll see you next time.